Hello, good afternoon. Let's get started. Okay, first thing first, we will release all the lab marking by the end of this week. So make sure you have a check by the end of this week. If you have any doubt, like if you think you can get higher marks or you have some missing marks, then please send me an email. This is very important. So we must get solve this kind of question by maybe before the exam. Okay. Yes. So you can check your marks on the website, WebCMS. There is a link for the gift system. And if you have any trouble to get your marks, just send me an email. Yeah, because sometimes like some of the students may have some trouble with their submission, like I cannot open your file, then I will leave maybe 0 marks for your lab. But actually you can send me an email and we can revise your lab submission. Yes, so if you didn't get your marks, just send me an email, like what is your ZID and what is the issue. So we need to solve this kind of question as soon as possible. And here is my email address. And you can also find it in the web CMS. You can find my email address over there. Yeah, and today is the last tutorial. And so we have lots of things to go through. The first thing is the final exam, because this one is the tutorial 2, right? We are doing some preparation for our final exam. And we will have some, like, we'll go through the specification and how to do the preparation. And if you want to review the final exam, and I will also provide you some materials. And we will have a quick look from week 5 to week 10. I will like point out what is the important knowledge point, and we will also have some calculation practice. For the calculation practice, like I will give you some real question from previous year. So it will be very helpful to give you some idea what will be the calculation for the final exam. And I think this part will be the most important stuff for today. And for the assignment, we will just have a quick look of this assignment as well, because I want to just mention that, like, what is the program structure should we have? Like, how should we do the sender and receiver finally? And we will have also mention how to do the debugging for the sender and receiver. But actually, I have mentioned this part in the help session. So maybe I will just mention like how to do it. And I will give you the recording link for this. And the last one is about the submission format, including the report, because we need to write a small report, right? And I will teach you how to do it. And after this, we will have a discussion if you want. Just ask me any question if you have, like for tutorial, assignment, or exam. Is that okay? So that's the 4 different stuff for today. We will basically focus on the final exam as is most important thing for this course. And before we get started, could you please do the my experience, because this one is pretty important for our course. Just feel free to leave any comment about this course, like you think the assignment is too easy or too hard, and the lab session, the tutorial session or lab session is like too simple or too long, and like which thing you think of this course is good and which thing is bad. This is very crucial for us. Since we don't have much people today, so I'll just leave this part maybe for now. Let's just go to the next part, but I really wish you to do the my experience part for us. And let's come to the specification for the final exam. The first thing is about the final exam, the time. It will be at the end of this month. We still have around 10 days, so pretty sufficient to do the preparation. But as you can see here, we only have 2 hours plus 15 minutes reading time. So it would be quite similar as the midterm exam for the duration. And as you know, we have around 15 questions. Usually we have 15 questions. So we don't have much time for each question. Then we can just do a simple calculation. We have 135 minutes and 15 questions. For each question, you have only 9 minutes. Just imagine if you need to do a calculation, it's pretty hard to like finish it within 10 minutes. So for some of the question, you need to go through it pretty quick, especially for the multiple choice questions. Yeah, so it will be very similar to the midterm exam, but of course the content is different, as we are going to test your knowledge based on the week 5 to week 10, right? So different protocol and layer. And this is double pass. This is very important. Even you get full marks on the midterm exam and assignment as well as the labs, you have to get at least 16 over 40 to pass this course. So you have to attend the final exam. If you feeling unwell at that day of the final exam, please let us know. You can send us a email or go to the Zoom link if you cannot attend the final exam test. And if you join the final exam test, there is no excuse. So we have like fit to sit rules, right? In the UNSW. So make sure you go through all the exam rules before you attend it. And this is very crucial for our final exam. And if you have any trouble, just let us know, okay? And the question type will be quite similar as the midterm exam, multiple choice and short answer. As you can see here, short answer is not writing an essay. So we have some tricks. For example, in the midterm exam, like we usually ask you to answer some calculation stuff with the short answer question, right? And some of the students just leave it blank because they have no idea how to do it. But actually, if you just put something over there, and we will not be very strict. If your answer just slightly related to the real answer, we will give you partial marks, and we will mention this part later. And I will give you more hint of how to get more marks on the final exam. Another thing is we don't have any programming stuff and lab content, so you don't need to worry about like if you are pretty weak on Python or if you are pretty weak on how to do the lab content, we will not test it. Everything is about the theory and the calculation. Basically, on the is the understanding of the concept, but we will not test the concept directly. So we will not ask you what is TCP, what is the meaning of UDP, and what is three-way handshake. We will not ask that kind of easy question. Instead, we will ask you to like identify if this packet is a TCP or UDP packet, and is this HTTP request is a which kind of status code are using over there? Is this a response or a request in HTTP? That kind of question. So we want to test you have really understanding of this kind of course content. And as you can see here, if you are worrying about the final exam is too hard, then you don't need to worry about it too much. As you can see here, and this is the statistics from maybe last year. Yes, the term one of last year. As you can see here, the average of our students can get around 31 to 33. So I am expecting you to get higher than this. And it should not be a huge problem for you if you do the preparation pretty well. So just maybe spend like 2 hours per day and just go through the recording and the question set we have, then you should be able to get 35 easily. Let me remove this picture. I have a slide after this. Oop. Give me a sec. Okay. The final exam just has the information from week 5 to week 10. No, we will test everything from week 1 to week 10, but we will focus on week 5 to week 10, as we have already tested your knowledge from week 1 to week 5 in the midterm exam. Don't worry, we will cover this part later. I will mention the key knowledge point from week 1 to week 10. And that's the preparation strategy here. As you can see here, just like the midterm exam I have mentioned before the exam, you should be like do the preparation for the lecture slides. As I mentioned in the tutorial 1. Oh, sorry. You need to download all the stuff, all the lecture slides, and or anything from WebCMS you think is useful, as we have lots of students accessing the web page at a time. So you may have lots of like a huge delay on the WebCMS during the exam. So make sure you download everything and have a backup in your own computer. So you don't need to wait for the website delay, and try to merge it. So what I mean is you need to merge every single lecture slides. So make sure you can use the Control F to find the keywords. If you have any like multiple choice question, we can find a similar question in the lecture slides. So download and merge will definitely save your time. And actually, I have already helped you to do it and upload this one into our GitHub link. I will show you later. And of course, you need to do the computer environment setup, and you need to have a backup internet plan just in case you lose your internet. And have your Zoom ready? As we have the, what is that? As we have a Zoom link, we will have a Zoom link during the exam. So if you encounter any kind of issue, feel free to join the Zoom link and report the question. Yeah, and for example, you have some like critical issue, like you cannot use the Inspira during the exam. So make sure you have a screenshot and save it into your computer just in case we need you to prove it. If you have any kind of technical or personal difficulties, make sure you contact us like as soon as possible with evidence. So our course lecturer and admin will be very kind for most of our students. And feel free to report any question during the exam. And next one is the review materials. So we are also talking about the preparation strategy for our final exam. The most important thing is the lecture slides, as we need to go through all the quizzes inside the lecture slides. This is very important. As you can see in the midterm exam, we have very similar question as the quizzes question in the slides. So make sure you go through every quizzes, even you have no time to go through every single recording. And of course, the examples on the slides, especially for the calculation, you have to go through it before the exam. Otherwise, it will take lots of time to understand it and do another calculation. So we will have similar questions, but we will have definitely different parameters for the calculation. So make sure you go through every single calculation in the lecture slides. This is very important. And the weekly quizzes, we have some homework in the website, right? Every week. That part is not compulsory, but it will definitely help you to do the preparation for the final exam. And I also upload some practice, like mock exam from past years and past exam papers, but it's pretty old in our GitHub link in here. And I will also share this link into our GitHub link, so you can get it. Let's just a quick look of the stuff right now. So in here, you can see we have a new folder. You have some sample questions. Tutorial 1, tutorial 2. I put the solutions in here. So for the tutorial 2, I want you to do it by yourself. And we have the specific answer in here. So go through the slides at first and come to here, do the calculation and do all the questions here. And if you have any doubts, just post it on the forum. And this one is pretty helpful, but I will give you more helpful information during this session. I will show you some real question during the exam, but not this year, of course. We will show you some like last year exam questions, so you have more insights of how will be the final exam difficult. And weekly quizzes and slides, you can go through it by yourself. And next part is during the exam, what should you do? You can arrive early. So what if we allows you to join the like Inspira stuff earlier, maybe 1-2 minutes earlier? I don't know. But like just get ready before the exam. And the internet connection, just have a double check. And make sure you have connected to the Zoom link, but just not join the help session if you have no issue. But just get ready for the link. If you have any stuff, you can just directly come to the help session and report it. And one of the major stuff during the exam is try to answer every single question, even you have no idea what is the real answer. For example, in the midterm exam, we will ask you like how many hops or how many routers are there in the question, that kind of stuff. Even you have no idea, just have a guess. You can, like, if we are asking how many stuff are there in the question, you can try to explain any related concept of this question, even you have no idea, right? Just try to write something related to this part and have a guess. And if you just have some answer related to this part, and we will usually give you a part of the marks. So make sure you answer every single question, even you have no idea. And especially for our like security question, just try to answer it, and you will be. I can make sure you will get some marks. And that's the content. So we're going to mention like what is the key knowledge points from week 1 to week 10 right now. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And if we have sufficient time, I would like to like hop to the maybe the lecture slides, and we can go through page by page. I will mention like what is the like key knowledge points in the slides. But here, let's just have a high level key knowledge point at first. Usually we will have the calculation for the delay in the in the final exam. So throughput or delay calculation, I reckon we will have one of it. And the HTTP or DNS usually will be tested again. And for the sockets, you don't need to worry about the programming stuff. We will only test the like understanding of this part. And RDT must be tested. So make sure you understand the different version of RDT. And of course, the UDP. So usually UDP could combine with the throughput or delay calculation or TCP with it. So TCP could be related to this part. And we will also relate it to the delay calculation. So they will try to combine different concepts together. So you need to understand like what is the three-way handshake of the TCP. And of course, congestion control must be tested. So make sure you go through unreliable data transfer, RDT, and congestion control. I think we have already go through one of the final exam question for the congestion control before, right? I show you one of the question before, but I will show you again. And next stuff, from week 6 to week 9, actually it's week 10. So this part is more important because we haven't tested this part after the midterm exam. So usually this part will get at least, I would say 65% of the final exam. So there are 4 basic concepts for the final exam from week 6 to week 10. And in here, the IP must be tested. Usually we will test the addressing, like if we want to divide a subnet, like how to do the calculation for this part. So this part must be tested, addressing part. So make sure you have some preparation on this part on how to divide a subnet or devise multiple subnets. And IPv6, don't worry too much. And the net, usually be tested, but it will be a simple, easy question, like the port number stuff. So make sure you understand the concept of it. And link state routing must be tested. And this distance vector routing must be tested. Usually this one will be a calculation. So we will usually ask you the like first iteration, second iteration. So you need to know like what is this stuff and what is the first iteration of this one and second iteration and final iteration and etc. So you have to be very familiar with these concepts and also go through the ICMP. Will BitTorrent be tested? Sometimes we will have a test of it if we didn't cover during the midterm exam. So BitTorrent will always be tested tit for tat. So P to P, usually it tit. This one could be tested. And collision avoidance, yes. Detection, yes. So usually this one is tested in the final exam. So for every chapter from week 5 to week 10, we have some question inside. So either we will test this one or this one, but maybe both. I'm not pretty sure. So make sure you go through every single stuff. But the only thing you don't need to worry too much about it is the security, as this one is super easy. Just go through the lecture slides of the security, but just don't spend lots of effort to understand every single concept in the security. Yeah, because we mentioned about a lot of stuff in the security part, right? Don't be confused. We will ask you some simple, easy question in the security, usually open-minded. So make sure you just answer this question, even you have no idea what is this, and you will get maybe most of the marks. And spend more time on this three part. As I mentioned here, every single concept in this three chapter is very important, and they can be usually tested during the final exam, and they will be the major part for the final exam. Any questions? So even you have no idea what is, like, for example, the distance vector routing or ICMP, then you still have enough time to go through it. Especially you have no idea what is like this word, then you should pay more attention in this part. Will it be landmark or auto marked? Depends. Just like the midterm exam. For the multiple choice or simple calculation, it will be automation marked. And for short answer question, it will be manual mark. As I mentioned here, try to answer every single question for the short answer. Even for the multiple choice, you still have like 25% of the chance to get it correct, right? So do not miss every single question. Uh, yeah, So that's everything I want to mention from week 1 to week 10. If you still have time, we can go through the slides or go through the assignment if you want, since we don't have much student today. And after the preparation of the exam, I want to talk about the assignment, because the assignment is also very important to get a good score for this course. Just have a quick look of the sender and receiver. I draw a diagram in here. Let me just explain it, and you can have a quick look if you have the same idea with me. So for the sender in left-hand side, and we have a receiver in right-hand side. So at the final stage of your sender and receiver, you should be able to achieve this kind of communication in your program. For the sender side, you should be able to send a thing and get a reply of the thing, which is the thing neck. And they are using the sequence number as their parameters, right? So the first thing packet will be this one. You will use the sequence number, maybe 1 or a random number. Let's just say we're starting from 1, but you should use a random number. And in the reply, for the acknowledgement number, it should be 2, right? Just because 1 plus 1 equals 2. Or if you are using 1000, should be 1001 in here to specify you have received the same packet. And in here, you will be able to have a pipelining stuff, which allows you to send multiple packets at the same time. In here, the max window size is 4000. So we will be able to send 4 packets in a row. And in this case, we have 2 packet loss, which is the packet 1 and packet 3. So if you have 2 packet loss, the key thing is what is the acknowledgement number should you reply for the packet 2 and packet 4? Because in the receiver side, you already get the packet 2 and packet 4. So what is the acknowledgement number should you reply? This is very important. And we will have a check of your log in the receiver side and the sender side. So if you miss the first packet, do you have any idea what is number 2 in here? Is it stand for Act 2, acknowledgement for packet 2, or acknowledgement for Act number 2? So what is this number 2 in here? Is it Act for packet 2 or Act number equals to 2? Yes, exactly. So it is Act number 2. So this one is correct. Because we are using the sequence number to do the acknowledgement and the sequence number, right? So I just want to make it clear, as we have the packet 1 lost. And if we get a packet 2, what kind of sequence number should we reply to the sender side? It's the sequence number 2. Yes, exactly, packet 1 sequence number to indicating we have not received packet 1 yet. And in here, it's likely to be a selective repeat, right? We will save the packet 2 and packet 4 in the buffer. We will have buffer, so we don't need to send it again. But it is not selective repeat, as we have some different in this case. And as you can see here, we only reply to acknowledgement for this file, as we only have 4 packets. We don't have packet 5 or packet 6 anymore. So we have to wait until the timeout. We have to here. We have to come to here, as we don't have triple duplicate acknowledgement. So we have to wait until it's timeout. And then we will send the oldest packet again, which is the packet 1, right? We will send it again. And then we will have a new timer for the oldest packet. And in this case, we send the packet 1 again, and we already get it. So it's time to send the packet 3. Is that okay? Feel free to ask any confusion you have. So why is X number equal to 2? Shouldn't it be 1? Okay, so I guess you have a wrong answer in the midterm exam for the calculation. So why this stuff is 2 instead of 1? This is the one of the concepts for the TCP. I would like to ask you another question later. So for syn and synac, we will add 1, right? The sequence number, we will add 1 to the sequence number, as we count the syn as 1 byte, and the thing will also count 1 byte. Oh, so you are talking about like why this ACK equal to 2 in here. So you are talking about this part. So ACK number equal to what, right? You're asking about this area. So what is the ACK number here? Any idea? Oh, sorry. So why is 2 in here? I mentioned like the ACK number should be equal to 2. Do you have any idea why it is 2 instead of 1? Because the synac is 2. This number is 2. This number is 2. And you also need to know like what is the sequence number for packet 1 sequence number equal to what? Packet 2 sequence number equal to what? Packet 3 sequence number equal to what? Right? And here it's very easy to do the calculation. This packet 1, the sequence number should be this one, 2. And the second one should be 2 plus the data size, usually 1000. And this one to yes. So this is the pure calculation for the TCP. So we have a ACK number 2 in here. we have this stuff in here, right? Which will indicating we have packet loss for packet 1 for this one, right? Because when we receive the packet 2 and packet 4 and we want to reply the message, we still need to have the packet 1. We didn't get the packet 1 yet, right? We want to send this message to the sender side. So that's the reason why we send acknowledgement number 2 to the sender side, to indicating we are still waiting for the packet 2. Packet 1, sorry. And so in here, I made a confusion here. This one, actually, it is acknowledgement, acknowledgement, and the ACK number equal to 2. It's not acknowledgement for packet 2. If we want to do the acknowledgement for packet 2, then it should be ACK number should be like 1002, right? Yeah, so this is like, how do they do the communication between each other? Basically just the TCP concepts. Because if you have the packet 1 and packet 3 lost, then you want to tell the sender, you want to send a message, we only have packet 2 and packet 4 right now, and we're still waiting for the packet 1. You want to send this message to the sender side. So all we need to do is just send the sequence number of packet 1 to the sender side. Okay, I hope this one will fit your assignment. And this is very important. So in the final stage, you need to have a similar sender and receiver, and we'll have the similar performance just like this. So make sure you have no difference on the sequence number, but our initial sequence number should be a random number instead of 1. So it could be like 5,000, 10,000, and etc. And next step is the assignment debugging. The first thing is to go through every single example at the end of the specification. So go to the part 9, we have a marking policy, right? You can see we have distributed marks on different tasks. So do it one by one. Even if you didn't finish every single task for the for this kind of stuff, make sure you can at least finish like part of it. For example, this one is too hard. Maybe just give out of this part and try to do other stuff which you think is easier. So basically, we will test them one by one. And for example, this one is very important, 8 marks. Then try them one by one. Run this kind of command one by one. And we will also have a report. And let's have a look. What should we have in the report? Before we go to the report, just make sure you run your code in the VLab instead of your own computer, because usually like some of the students may have 0 marks because we cannot run the codes as they say, they will say it is working properly in their own computer, But anyway, we must test it in the VLab environment. So before the submission, make sure you have a test in the VLab. This one is very important. And don't worry too much about the corner case. But if you do feel like uncomfortable with some of the case, you can just post it on the forum and ask if we will test this case or if this case will be considered or will be tested. But usually we will just test the stuff at the section 9. And next stuff is the report. The report is very important. Even we only have 1 mark for the report. But you need to put like teach us how to run your program. Even we have already specified how to run the program, but some of the students like they still have different way to do it. So we just put it in our report anyway. Just teach us how to run your program. Like what kind of command should we put? Just in case we have no idea how to run your program. And explain the program structure and any improvement or bug. This one is important in here. So for the bug, if you do have some bug which may cause error in your program, you can just mention it in the report. So we will save time in this part. Like for some of the extreme scenario, your program will crash and you can say, I have tried to fix this one, but sometimes will still crash. So we will have some preparation for this. And any trade-off, if you fix a bug with some trade-offs, you can also mention in here. And basically these 3 parts, I just make it simple. We don't need to know much stuff about it. So don't spend a lot of time for the report. So this one is the most important thing, very important. Teach us how to run your code. And the second stuff is any bugs or any improvements to be finished for your program. These 2 stuff is important. And just make it simple and easy. Do not write a very long report. So this stuff. And usually you will get a free mark for the report, even you only have this part, okay? So do the report anyway. We will not be very picky and strict on the report. So if you have time, it's a free mark for you. Just do it. And if you don't have the report, it's still okay. We will run the program with our own way. But if you do have some trouble to run your program, then you may have lots of trouble. As we need to like send an email to you or something like that. So make sure you have that report and it's a free mark. And it's maximum 2 page. Maximum. So 1 page is enough in my point of view. Just mention like how to run the program and if you have any bug or if you have any special program structure. And don't spend a lot of time in this one. Just spend more time on the testing. Oh. Actually, I will have more test case in the web page here. So I'm still working on it. in week 9, actually it's week 10 right now, we will have a test case here. So I will also try to upload more test case by tomorrow. And you can feel free to come to the help session tomorrow. We will have some help session from Tuesday to Friday. So if you have any trouble, feel free to come in. And we will also do some testing and debugging for our code. So it will be helpful for the assignment. And I will also put some like new test case in the GitHub link and hope it will be helpful. And the last stuff is the future courses, as it is the end of the semester, and I would like to recommend you some like interesting course for the next semester. So the first thing first, if you've enjoyed to learn the theory and the calculation, maybe this one is the course may fit you. And as this one is like a lot of theory and the calculation in the course, and not much programming stuff. Maybe some Wireshark in the tutorial, but in the exam will be quite similar as this course. And next up, if you do enjoy the programming stuff, I recommend you to have this one, security stuff. This one is really open-minded and requires you a lot of programming skills. And of course, the security course is quite similar. Usually we will like ask you to write a theory. No, it's write a report and do some programming stuff. And the IoT design studio is also pretty fun. They will usually give you a robot and you need to write a like program or a project based on the robot. And that's it. I really hope you to enjoy this course. And again, if you have time, please go through my experience, as this one is very important for us. And yeah, I hope you to enjoy this course. And we will also release the lab marking by the end of this week. So make sure you contact me as soon as possible if you have any trouble with like fetching your lab marking. And we still have 15 minutes. So maybe we can go through some real exam questions from last year. Is that okay? Okay, just give me a few minutes. So let me do the preparation for this part. Okay, so one of the common question in the final exam. So this is one of the typical question we may have in the midterm or final exam. So what is the value O in here? Have a guess. So this one like usually be tested. And what is the value for P? Yeah, I can see you have a correct answer for value of. So it's pretty good. And what is P? What is the value P? Let me have some marking here. So sequence number O will equal to 55 plus 70, right? Easy. So what is the P? Acknowledgement number for what? So firstly, you need to know what is this acknowledgement. This acknowledgement is for this packet, right? For this one. It's for this packet, for this data. So what is the acknowledgement number here? It should be 125, right? The same as the number, the sequence number O. And what is the value for Q in here? Q equal to act number Yeah, exactly. So if you are doing the calculation for the acknowledgement number, then which value should you looking for? You should looking at the previous packet, right? This packet is the reply of this packet, right? So you are looking for the sequence number for the previous packet and add it to the data byte, to the data side of it. So will be equal to the value O plus 60, which is 185. Is that okay? And what is the sequence number in here? What is the value of R? So things become complicated from now, right? As we have lots of calculation based on the previous step. So when you do the calculation for the value of sequence number, so which packet are you looking for? So are you looking for this one Oh, this one. So actually they are the same, right? They are the same. It's 200. So what's next with 200? Is it just directly equal to 200? Or do we need to do some calculation? I give you a hint. We need to count this stuff as well, as this one is the sequence number. So what's the value of this? Yes, exactly 300 for R. So why is it is 300? Let me see, but why was the sequence number of response above back equal to 200? So why it is not 200? Why it is not 200? Yeah, I know you are confusing right now. So actually, we have two sequence number for host A. So we call it initial sequence number in for host A and initial sequence number for host B. They are two different stuff, right? What is the value for the left hand side, host A? What is the initial sequence number for host A? It's 55. And right hand side, what is the initial sequence number? It's 200, right? So they are holding two different sequence number in both sides. They are two different value. So this one is pretty confusing. So you may mix them together. Yeah, this is the tricky point for this question. And usually we will get it wrong at this step. So no ACK from host A, Y sequence number changed to 300. Okay, so it's pretty simple and straightforward. Now we send the packet 1 and packet 2 from the host B, right? Let's consider this one is the packet 1 and the second one is the packet 2 because we do send two different stuff, right? And this one could be considered like there are two different packets from B to A. So why shouldn't they have different sequence number? So these two packets is not the same, right? The packet 1 and packet 2 are not the same stuff. So they must have different sequence number. For example, there's packet 1, like they are sending hello, and this one is sending word, hello world. They are sending two different stuff from host B to host A. So they must have different sequence number. Even the first packet didn't arrive, but we don't know yet, right? Before we send the packet 2, we still have no idea if the packet 1 is arrived or not. So we are not sending the similar or same packet again, as we have no idea this one is lost. Is that okay? Okay, now we come to the next step. So usually we will get it wrong from here. So from this part, we will get it wrong, and we get every single value wrong after this. So what is the value for S? As you already know, R equal to 300. So let me clear everything and show you again. And I will give you a hint. The R value, R equal to 300, and Q equal to 185 in this case. And what is the value for S? What is the value for S? Very important. So for the value S, what kind of calculation are we looking for? Let me draw it again. Let me move to a empty page. So the background is clear. Okay, great. Let's do the calculation for S right now. So we are looking for S. And what should we do? If we are looking for this value, so we need to have a look of the previous value, right? We need to have a look of this row. Usually, this one will equal to the sequence number of the previous row. But is there any other stuff in the chart? For example, we have a packet loss here. So we have packet loss here. And we call this packet packet 1 and packet 2. And here we can say packet 2 arrived this place. But where is packet 1? Right? So in the left hand side, it will ask this question. We already get the packet 2, but we are still waiting for the packet 1. So should we ask for packet 2 or 1? Yes, because we are still waiting for the packet 1. So neither. We need to request for the acknowledge for the packet 1 again. So what is the number should we send in here? We are still waiting for packet 1, so it will be 200. In here, we don't have the packet 1, right? So we can not acknowledge we get a packet 1, but we need to send the sequence number of the packet 1. Send the sequence number of packet 1, which is 200. Yes, you're right. So this is the timeout. Oh no, this is the packet loss. And what's next? The sequence number T. What is the value of T? Yeah, so this one is pretty easy as we only need to look at the acknowledgement number of the previous packets. So usually T will equal to Q, will equal to Q, 185. Okay, easy. And what's next? Acknowledgement number U. What is U? Yeah, exactly. So 255. So how do we get this number? The size of and the sequence number, right? So you equal to T plus 70. Exactly. And now you have some idea of how to do the calculation. So if we are looking for the sequence number V, it will be very easy. We just look at the acknowledgement number S, right? Um, and is there anything? So what is the value of V? So actually I made a mistake in here. It's not looking the S for itself, but we still need to consider like what is the next packet are we looking for, right? So we have the packet 1, sequence number equal to, what is the value? 200, and data equal to 100, right? And the sequence number equal to 300, and data equal to 100. And in here, we need to send a packet 3, and sequence number equal to what? And this one is act, and this one is also act. So now we come to the packet 3. What is the sequence number? So what is the value V? We are sending a new packet. Yeah, exactly. Equal to 300 plus 100, and which is 400. And 100 from here, 300 from here. So this question is not pretty easy, right? You need to consider like how to do the calculation if you want to send a packet in both sides. And which packet are we sending right now? And now we come to the next one. What is the value for W? W equal to, as we can see, we are sending a packet 4, right? And sequence number equal to what? And ACK number equal to what? So we don't care about the ACK in here. We only care about the sequence number here. So let's try to figure out what is the acknowledgement in here. Yeah, exactly. W equal to 255. And why? Why why we send the acknowledgement 255 here? Because this one is the timeout, right? As you can see, we have timeout at the right hand side. So we send it again. But we have a different acknowledgement number. Yes, so we just use the previous acknowledgement number. I know, in here it's a bit confusing. So you need to have a look of the lecture slides and make sure you understand why it's 255 in here. We have a timeout instead of 200. So why don't we just send the same, exactly the same packet in here? As you can see here, P is 125. This value is 125. Why don't we just send the same stuff in here? Sequence number equals to 200 and 100. So the sequence number is actually is 200. So X is 200. So let me clear everything and make it simple and straightforward. So you can understand why it's 200. Let me clean everything. Okay. So we are focusing on this part. We are focusing on this one, right? Because this one is the timeout. And this one is also critical for us as we are resending this one. And the value P regarding to our previous calculation, what is value P is 125. And so what is the value for W? W is 125. And X to 200, right? And P, value P 125. And the value 255. This one is U is 255. And the value of V is 400. So do we made a mistake in here? Let me have a double check. So the value U is 255 because equal to value T plus 70. Yeah, exactly. And sequence number V will equal to acknowledgement number S. But because we have timeout, so we need to count on this. So it's 400, as this one is packet 1, packet 2, packet 3. Yeah. Yeah, did I made a mistake on the value of W or X? Yeah, because this one is timeout. We just send it again. YW is 125. Yeah, because we have a timeout here. So we just send this packet again. Yes. So even we have a like larger acknowledgement number, we still need to send the old one. Okay. Okay, you wrote it before, but I say you have the wrong answer. Maybe it could be my mistake. I remember I say it's 255, but actually it's 125. Yeah, yeah. It's 255. It's not 255 because it's just a simple timeout. So we just send it again. Okay, so it's not very like complicated. We only have a single timeout here, right? So this one timeout and we just resend it and no other consideration. So what is value for Y in here? So when we're looking at the Y, usually we will just have a look of the acknowledgement based on the sequence number and the data size. And for the sequence number, we'll have a look of the acknowledgement. But is there any other stuff we need to count on this? The value for y. You have some error in y here if you just look at the previous slide. So you are thinking y is 200 plus 100. But actually the real question is 400. Your answer is 400. This one is 400. And the value of z will equal to we will look at the acknowledgement number plus the stuff 255. So this one is the hardest too. Why the value of y is 400? And here we need to count how much packets do we have from the B to the A, right? We can count like how many packets from B to A. Packet 1, sequence number is, what is value? 125. No, it's sequence number 200, sorry. And data is 100. This is the packet 1 from the B to A, right? And this is the second packet. Packet 2. Sequence number is 300. And data is 100 as well. So no issue with these two packets, right? From B to A. And we need to count, like, is this packet, this one is packet 3, right? And the sequence number is 400 and data is 0, no data. And this one, packet, which one is this? It's packet 2, right? And sequence number equal to 200, data equal to 100. So these two are the same. So now you have some idea. So why should we have the y value equal to 400? Is package 3 sequence number is 400. Is that okay? Because we already get packet 1, packet 2, and packet 3. And now we are looking for like maybe packet 4. We don't know if we have packet 4. So we need to specify the sequence number now. So this one, packet 3 is just simply pack, no data. Why is the arrow packet 2 when packet 2 was received? Is it this one? This? Oh, I think I made a mistake. It should packet 1. It should be packet 1. Sorry, because it's too many stuff. Yeah, I'm saying packet 2, but actually I specify the sequence number and the data size the same as the packet 1. This one I made a mistake here. So even I can get confused with this much of stuff. But now you have some idea of how to do the calculation. So basically, we're just looking at the previous packets to do the calculation. But if we have a timeout or if we have a packet loss, then we need to like specify like how many packets have we received or have we sent. If we don't have any like packet loss or timeouts, then we don't need to consider too much. And I hope this one will help. And you can have a screenshot so you can do the calculation again by yourself. I think I made some mistake on explaining this. And let me see, we still have 10 minutes. Let me have a quick look of some question that I want to mention. We don't have enough time, but I just want to maybe leave you some question and give you more idea of the final exam. Any type of question you want to go through. Maybe this one. I will not explain this one in here, but you can just have a look by yourself. So it is in the graphics in here. And this one is the second question. You can have a screenshot and try to answer this one by yourself after you go through the Dijkstra. And this kind of stuff must be tested. So this is one of the sample questions that I want you to go through. And we also have some similar question in the slides. And yeah, please do not post it on the forum of this kind of question. As I want to make it secret. Only you maybe go through the question, okay? And this one, we do the calculation for this one right now. And let's spend like 10 more minutes as we waste 15 minutes at the beginning. So what is the value for this one? Okay. Seems I lose my connection here. Can you still hear me? Okay, so the answer is 1. The answer is 1. So maybe it's a multiple choice, but I delete the multiple choice. I just want you to do the calculation. So if you do not know the value is 1, which means you are not familiar with distance vector, then you need to have a look of this part. We have a similar question in the slides. The value is 1. And for the Dijkstra question I posted before, for this one, you need to draw a table for this one, okay? Just like we did in the slides. You need to draw a table, first iteration, second iteration, final iteration, draw a table. And next one, this one, like usually tested in the final exam every year. Okay, so what's the answer for this one? Port 1, port 2, 3, 4, 5. If we have this IP address, this IP address, okay, so we need to convert to binary at first, right? Because we have a mask in here. So we need to know which part is covering with which part. So we need to convert. For example, I'll do one of it. This one, 1 to 8.8.1 to 8.0, 24, which means what is the like coverage of this IP address and mask? As we know, we have 32 bits, right? Over 24. So over 24. So the coverage will be 1 to 8.1 to 8.0 to 8.1 to 8.255. This is the coverage of it. What is the port 4? So 1 to 8.8.1 to 8.0. Do the calculation. As we don't have time, we need to have a quick look of this one. So just try to answer this one. Like, is it port 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Just have a guess. So you are guessing port 4, but actually the correct answer is this one. Default, which means if we do not satisfy port 1 and port 2, port 3, and port 4, then we'll go to port 5, right? So if I give you the condition, if we are sending a stuff to here, let's say 0.5, then it will go to here as this one satisfy this condition, right? So it will go to port 3. If this IP address does not fit port 4 and does not fit port 3 and no port 2 and no 1, then we go to port 5. Yeah, so this one is port 5. Need to do the calculation for the mask. So basically just calculate the coverage area of this IP address. And why this one does not fit port 4? Because This is because of the mask. Because the mask is 28 instead of 24. Yes, you need to calculate. And in here, we only have 4 bits. So 2 times 24. So what is the value? No, 2 of the power of 4 equal to what? And this will be the coverage of the port 4. Okay, so go to the slides again and do the calculation here. You choose the port 4 because you don't understand like how this mask work. As you can see here, the mask is 28. The coverage is pretty small, and it will not cover this part. It will not cover this IP address. Let me try to find one more question. One question that must be tested. Maybe a congestion control. For the congestion control, maybe it's a question in the slides. Let me find it for you. So, so actually, this question has been tested in the final exam before, but not sure for this year. So what is the phase 2? What is this? And what is this? How do you call this? Number 1 and number 2. Yeah, so just answer me, which one is timeout? 1 or 2? Yeah, exactly. This one is timeout. And what is this one? A quick review of this. Yeah, of course, this is timeout, but what's the name of it? Yes. It is a packet loss, and fast retransmit. And how do you call this one? And how do you call this one? Yep. So this one is slow start, and this one is AIND. And what is the value for the construction window size in here? So what is the value for this one? And even we know this value equal to, let's say, 100 at the peak point of 2. Yes, will be 100 divided by 2, which is 50. Yeah, exactly. So you have some idea of how to calculate the construction window. We may test it on the calculation here. Okay, so try a harder one. This one is really hard, right? The congestion avoidance. Yeah, so if you have no idea, I just leave this one to you to try to answer this one. And the answer should be, we have a look. I think A and E is not. So A, E is not, and B, C is 1, 2, 5, 3, 2, 5. C, A, B, C. A, B, C, D. I reckon the right answer should be A, B, C, D. So try to figure this out by yourself. I'm not sure I have the right answer, but yeah, I think it's A, B, C, D. I go through the slides and you have some idea of congestion avoidance. And yeah, in the final exam, we will have some question like this. It should be a bit hard, but don't worry, as I showed you before. Show you in the slides before. I deleted. The average of the final exam is 33. So this you should be able to get at least 33, I guess. So I hope you can get HD. Yeah, just let me know if you have any question regarding to your assignment or the lab, if I didn't give you the correct marks. Yeah, I hope you really enjoy this course and the tutorial. Yeah, and I will really appreciate if you feeling my experience. Just let us know what is your feeling about this course. And yeah, we will still have some help session for the assignment tomorrow and Friday. Of course, we will have it on Wednesday and Thursday as well for different languages. And feel free to join any session if you have any question. Yeah, and I will see you soon. Just come to the help session if you have any trouble. And good luck with your final exam. I will upload the slides and the recording very soon. And we will have the GitHub link. You still remember? We have this link. I will put more test case under this section so you can test with your own code. And I have already uploaded the final exam review stuff. Feel free to have a look of the slides of the sample questions and sample finals. It's a zip file, I can't open it, but you can try to open it by yourself. There are some sample question in here. So firstly, go through the slides. Try to answer all the question in the slides. And then after that, you will be able to answer most of the question in this kind of mock exam. And we also have a tutorial too, which I didn't go through today because I want to leave it for you. The same question, right? As you can see here, the same question I have posted. We will have very, very similar question in the final exam. So that's the reason I want to leave it to you. And the answer is in here, solution. You can do it by yourself. And we also have a Dijkstra calculation, I think. You can go through it by yourself. And we also have some like sample question if you feel not enough after all, like sample question in application layer, transport layer. But don't feel panic if you feel this kind of question is too hard, as some of the question we didn't cover in this semester. So this one is just for your information. Don't feel panic for this kind of sample question is too hard. And that's it. And final exam, basically everything. Yeah, hope this one is helpful and good luck with your final exam. And any other question? Okay. I will start the sharing and start the recording. And thanks for coming.